I would like to start by saying to viewers watching this video right now that you are not at any risk whatsoever. If you do see the contents of this video, I have taken extra precautions in making sure that all footages and photos of case subject SCP-096, aka the Shy Guy, are well animated with the guarantee that you won't be hinted if you see them. So, rest assured, you are completely safe. I hope. Greetings, my like-minded comrades. Detective Nicolette here, and today I present to you the highly classified document of one of the most scary SCP subjects there is. He goes by the name of the Shy Guy, or SCP-096, as I earlier said. And according to the document, the subject is to be contained in a steel, airtight cubic cell with measurements of 5 meters on all sides at all times. And the maintenance crew were also given orders to perform weekly checks on the cell for any cracks or holes. Furthermore, any and all forms of video or optical equipments are prohibited within cell of SCP-096. We can say they did that because he's a shy creature, as the name implies. Well, it's either that or the fact that he kills anyone who sees any part of his body, but we'll get to more on that later. Currently, the only way to know of the creature's presence within the cell is with the use of the very sensitive pressure and laser sensors which the security personnel already pre-installed before the Shy Guy's arrival. In addition, all photos or video recordings of the subject are prohibited within the SCP Foundation, unless granted approval by Dr. Matt to do so. You will not believe the lengths my informant had to go through to get the actual name of the doctor in charge of subject SCP-096. Let's just leave out those details for now. Anyway, the creature is humanoid by nature, but it belongs to the Yucca class. It measures approximately 2.38 meters in height, with arms which look really out of proportion compared to its entire body, both measuring a length of 1.5 meters each. The subject's body gives off a slight feel like the one experienced by a malnourished man due to the low amount of body mass it possesses. The skin also lacks any form of pigmentation, and it also lacks body hair, not even on its head. The subject's face does look similar to that of any average human, with the exception of the jaw, which can open up to 4 times that of a regular human being, and the eyes, which also looks like they lack pigment as well. However, due to his strange eye type, no one knows if the Shy Guy can see or not. Further investigation also suggested that the creature shows no sign of a high function, and as indicated here in the file, the SCP Foundation does not consider it as a sapient being. Now to the reason why it kills people. Even though SCP-096 appears to be a calm or somewhat extremely docile creature, as it spends most of its time pacing inside its cell, all that changes once someone looks at its face. Even if it was through a video recording or photograph, the subject immediately enters a stage that would indicate frustration and emotional distress. Not long after, the subject covers its face with its hands before it begins to yell, cry, and blabber all sorts of nonsense in words no one can understand for approximately 1 to 2 minutes after the person has seen his face. After SCP-096 completes this procedure, and I use the term procedure because it is a common occurrence, the creature then starts running to the person who saw his face, who for the purpose of this video we are going to refer to as the victim. Speaking of running, the Shy Guy can reach speeds of up to 35 kilometers an hour, but no one knows just how fast it can go. All the SCP Foundation knows is that the subject's peak speed depends on the distance between him and the victim, a theory they proved after Dr. Matt approved the study of making 3 Class D personnel look at the images of the Shy Guy. However, they didn't do this with the main purpose of checking his speed. On the contrary, his speed was the last thing on their minds. They did it not only to see how the Shy Guy would react to each test, but also for the victims to be able to give a clear description of what the Shy Guy looks like. The first test happened within the SCP Foundation, where the victim looked directly at the Shy Guy through a tiny unnoticeable hole they made in its cell. Surprisingly, the Shy Guy reacted instantly, implying that it was aware that the victim looked at him. After all the screaming and blabbering, the Shy Guy made it to the cell's door and ripped it apart with its bare hands, before before killing the victim without hesitation, even before he could write out what he saw about the Shy Guy. The second test was done on a bunch of SCP Foundation that is about 100 kilometers away from SCP-096 cell. This time, the victim looked at the video recordings of the Shy Guy all the while writing down what he sees. And again, the Shy Guy responded immediately. The victim looked at the recordings. It ran through everything in its sight with ease, breaking through its then made 3-layered cell, killing anyone that gets in its way. This was the first time that the SCP Foundation had ever seen the subject run, which they described as very fast. The Foundation was only able to keep track of its movements with its use of a prototype jet capable of reaching speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour. Made with the knowledge of the unknown SCP subject, the jet proved efficient enough to keep up with the speed of the Shy Guy, who at the time had already killed almost 100 civilians. It didn't take long for the subject to come in contact with the second victim, and just like the first, the Shy Guy didn't hesitate in killing the second victim. However, before his death, he did leave out some details on what he saw in the recordings. But the information wasn't enough for Dr. Matt, who then requested for a third and final test. This time, he proposed the test be carried out in a classified location at a depth of about 1,000 kilometers below sea level, with an artistic victim inside of a pressure tank made of the strongest alloys on Earth. The victim was given photographs of SCP-096 to look at and sketch out what he sees. With time to ticken, the victim quickly drew out the images he had with him before delivering the results to the top of the ocean. And not long after he did that, the Shy Guy surprisingly made its way to his location, and with a few hits to tank, broke through it and killed the victim immediately. However, he didn't reach the location without destroying a few towns in the process. The total number of dead civilians as well as the name of the towns were kept classified in the document. From these tests, the SCP Foundation deduced some facts. First is that the case subject SCP-096 cannot be stopped by any material or method when it goes after whoever saw its face. They also confirmed that the actual position of the victims does not affect the Shy Guy's response time. Another key point is that the artistic deceptions will not trigger a response from the Shy Guy. This was proven by Dr. Matt himself when he looked at the pictures drawn by the third victim. Final fact is the subject must kill whoever sees it, although no one knows what it does with the body after killing it, because all cases left no trace of the victim, not their body. I believe the funny thing about this creature is that after killing a victim, it goes back to its somewhat vegetative state or natural habitat from the looks of it. The SCP Foundation removed the document. The Foundation has also made retrieving the subject an alpha priority, a feature not many SCP subjects have. After digging deep into the other files of the SCP Foundation, I discovered that the Shy Guy, in a way, shares similar properties with another SCP subject known as SCP-2521, or, better still, one whose name must not be said. In a nutshell, this entity also reacts to people who knows or says its identity. But unlike the Shy Guy, this entity can teleport through space and time to any location that its ID was called. And also, it doesn't kill, it rather abducts the person. I'll be sure to do a detailed video on this entity later. Back to Shy Guy. It would appear that it was first discovered by retrieval team Zulu 9A. While speaking to the captain in charge of the team in an interview, Dr. Matt was able to get some very useful data on the subject, some of which includes that the creature is unaffected by the temperature because it was found on a very cold location. Another fact is that the creature is also unaffected by the firearms and rockets. As a matter of fact, the captain rated the effects of their firearms on the creature as though they were spitting on it. So how were they able to apprehend the subject, and how was the captain able to survive? Well, to answer both these questions, the captain wasn't killed because just as the creature looked at the squad, the captain was looking upwards towards someone that called him in their helicopter, and after the Shy Guy had laid waste to all that, the captain and Zulu Team A, the backup Zulu Team B, showed up just in time, and they were able to put a bag over the creature's face before taking it in. After his interview with the captain, Dr. Matt made a request for the immediate termination of SCP-096, to which the request was granted, but on the condition that the doctor does it himself. The last line doesn't make any sense to me in particular. First off, why would Dr. Matt request for an immediate termination of something that they consider indestructible? Could it be that the doctor knows something about SCP-096 that's not even the SCP Foundation? Another case I'd like to know about is if the Shy Guy also reacts to non-human creatures that looks at its face. If it does, then would it be able to take out the indestructible reptile, aka SCP-682? I would very much like to know your comments on the matter, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to find out my answers to these questions. Take care.